Hey man, I was just wondering if you might be willing to be my mentor.
Wanna mentor me? I need support. I need guidance. I don't got what I need. Can you help me?
Maybe you could be a hybrid, like a friend mentor. You could be my friendtor. Let's face it, looking for a mentor can feel awkward and discouraging. So in this episode, you will learn my simple formula for finding great mentors who actually ask you to spend time together. Let's go. Hey, I'm Drew, founder of Husband Material, where I help men outgrow porn. Today, we are talking about mentors, because I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to find a mentor. In my most recent live episode, I shared that you need 3 types of people to outgrow porn: allies, guides, and experts. And by far, the most difficult one to find is a guide, a mentor. You know, somebody who's modeling for you what it means to be a man of God, and then who's pouring into you, discipling you, supporting you, encouraging you, listening to you, loving you at every step of the way. In 1 Corinthians, Paul says, you have many guardians in Christ, but not many fathers. And what he's saying is, you have lots of teachers who can tell you the truth about God, but you don't have many mature men of God who are actually willing to enter into your life and to father you, to disciple you, to mentor you. If you want to be free from porn, having a mentor or a group of mentors is not optional, it's essential. And not having a mentor is a huge reason why I stayed stuck in porn for so many years. My dad refused to talk about anything sexual with me. And he wasn't competent and he didn't care enough about this to mentor me. I remember what it was like to be a little boy and to be a teenager, wishing desperately for an older brother. Wishing for someone who was a little bit further ahead of me on this journey, who could give me tips and tools and modeling for how to relate to girls, how to understand my body, how to express my sexuality in a healthy way, and to give me direction, to give me discipleship and pure love without the pressure to perform. It wasn't until I got to college that I actually found some of those older brothers and spiritual fathers, mature men of God who poured into me, who discipled me, and when I finally found that, it was like oxygen. So I want to give a shout out to some of my mentors: David Petersons, Dan Haas, Vince Baycoat, Sky Jitani, Michael Cho, and Jay Stringer. God has used you to make me a better man. And the best part is, because of this, I get to be a mentor to others. I get to be the older brother that I never had. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm so passionate about Husband Material, about helping men outgrow porn. This ministry is about discipleship. It's about mentorship. It's about giving you the support and guidance you need to grow up sexually. So, finding a mentor is a crucial aspect of that journey. And today I want to break it down for you and make it really simple. Because when it comes to actually finding a mentor, so many of us get stuck. We try to overcomplicate the process. So today I'm going to make it really simple. If you want to find a great mentor, you need to do 2 things. Pick someone and pursue someone. And before you dismiss me saying, oh, I already know that, let me explain it a little further. Listen, if you've had mentoring relationships in the past that disappointed you, that wounded you, it's probably because you neglected this first step. You need to be the one who chooses your mentor. Even if you have a youth pastor or a family member who wants to mentor you, doesn't necessarily mean they'll be a good fit. You want to pick someone. How do you do that? Well, first you need to identify how you want to grow. What are those areas where you need development? And for most of us, that means freedom from porn. You want somebody who has the same kind of sobriety that you want, somebody who has the same kind of relationship that you want, somebody who has the same kind of faith that you want, somebody who is becoming the man who you want to be and who's further ahead of you on that path. And then you need to find that person. Maybe it's at church, maybe it's at work, maybe it's in an online community like the Husband Material Facebook group. You need to find a few people who could be good candidates. And you don't need to pick just one mentor. You can pick a few. You need to find a few people who you want to become more like. You want them to rub off on you. You want to copy them. You want to imitate them. You want to follow them as they are following Christ. That is step 1. Pick someone. Once you've located a possible mentor, how do you actually pursue that person? This is where it gets difficult. This is where it gets tricky. And this is where you can actually experience rejection. Some of us have pursued mentors in the past, and it didn't work out and left us feeling even more wounded and alone. So let me tell you a quick story about what I learned about how to pursue a mentor. When I was in college, one of my professors named Dan lit my soul on fire. He inspired me. I loved this man, and I would invite him out to lunch. And one day at lunch, I said, Dan, would you be my mentor? And he said no. I was devastated. I was discouraged. I was crushed. He had a good reason. He said his capacity for mentoring relationships was full. He was a college professor. He was investing in so many students, which was completely valid. But here's what happened next. I kept inviting him out to lunch. I kept inviting him to go for walks and talk about poetry, and we shared our work together and what we were learning about teaching and Jesus. And in the end, Dan accidentally mentored me for the next 3 years. It was amazing. And here's what I learned. Mentoring is actually the kind of thing that happens best when you don't call it mentoring. All you have to do is extend an invitation. If you want to pursue a mentor, extend an invitation out to lunch. Hey, would you want to eat lunch with me on Friday? Would you want to exercise with me on Saturday morning? Would you want to do something that we both enjoy? And take it from there. Don't ask for a huge commitment or something formal like, will you mentor me? Ask for a micro commitment, something small. Listen, older, wiser men of God love to be pursued. We will not initiate usually. We won't go around looking for younger men saying, who can I invest in? Who can I pursue? Who can I disciple? But when others pursue us, it feels like an honor. The problem is we feel like we are at full capacity with our existing commitments. So if you want us to begin to get to know you, you have to ask for a micro commitment, something small, something doable, and preferably something the person enjoys. What I found in my mentoring relationship with Dan is that when I pursued him in a way that worked for him, asking for micro commitments and over time developing trust, he actually began to pursue me. And that is the final secret I want to share with you about pursuing a mentor. If you're willing to take the time to be strategic, if you're willing to be consistent, you can actually influence a mentor or a possible mentor to pursue you. This is a high-level strategy, and it requires more intentionality. But basically what you want to do is find out more about this possible mentor and then find a way to add value. You don't start by asking for a micro commitment, saying, hey, can you eat lunch with me? Hey, can you go for a run with me? You start by giving them something for nothing in return because you believe it will benefit them. Free of charge, no strings attached. And this is actually the only way to find a mentor who's high in demand. If you want to have the right to somebody's time and attention, who's more public, who's more prominent, who has a lot of people who want them to be their mentor, the way to do it is by getting into their world a little bit and figuring out what they need and then offering that to them if you're able to. People ask me, how did you get Jay Stringer to mentor you? He is an amazing Christian psychotherapist. He is the leader in the field of healing unwanted sexual behavior. And the way it happened is I created a study guide for his book, Unwanted. And I said, hey, Jay, I created this study guide. I'm using it with my clients. They're getting great results. Would you like to see it? He saw it, he loved it, and that became the official study guide for Unwanted. And since then, he has trained me, he has mentored me, and we've collaborated on a number of projects. And it all started with me adding value. And then he, in response, decided to pursue a relationship. My relationship with Jay has been so amazing, both personally and professionally. And he is only one of the many mentors who are making me into the man God is forging in my own Christ-like character. If you want a mentor, I've laid it all out for you. First, you need to pick somebody. You need to decide how you want to grow and then find somebody who has those qualities. Make a list, pick a few people, and then pursue them. This can look like extending invitations, micro commitments, finding out what they like and seeing if they want to do it with you. Also, adding value, especially if you want a mentor who's in high demand, you have to add value. Offer as much as you can, ask for nothing in return, and you will actually make it possible for them to pursue you. And in the end, if the mentoring relationship is successful, in the end, you just become friends. And this is so awesome. You get to have the same kind of qualities that they have, and then you get to mutually enrich each other. It's so amazing when your mentors become your allies. It is my prayer for you that you would not only have allies on this journey to freedom, you would not only have experts, but that you would have mature, godly mentors. Probably the best place to find mentors for freedom from porn right now is the Husband Material Facebook group. We have some awesome guys in there who have months, if not years of freedom, who I love interacting with. So I invite you to join that group at husbandmaterialmen.com. Always remember, my friend, you are God's beloved son, and in you he is well pleased.